Hello, all. I'm Arsenal. My favorite topic is domain name system, and I have to take on it. First, after completing this chapter, you should be able to do the following things. First of all, discuss the domain name system, which is the silent as a server application that provide name services for the other applications. And next, discuss how DNS enables the use of the application layer addresses such as email addresses instead of network layer logical addresses. Then there are several applications in the application layer of internet mode that follows the silent as server model. In the silent server program can divide into two categories. First one is those that can be directly used by the user, such as the email. Next, the support the other application programs. The DNS is the supporting program that is used by the other programs such as the mail. Uh, this figure shows the how a DNS silent server program can support an email program to find the IP addresses of the email recipient. A user of the email program may know the email address of the servant recipient. However, the IP protocol needs the IP address. Next thing, the DNS silent program send a request to the DNS server to map the email addresses to corresponding IP addresses. Next, the name assigned to the machine must be unique because the addresses are unique. The namespace that maps each addresses to a unique name can be organized into two ways. First way is the flat, next one the uh, hierarchical. In a flat namespace, the name is assigned to an address. A name in this space is a sequence of the character without the structure. The main disadvantage of the flat namespace is that it can be used in large systems such as the internet because it may be centrally controlled to avoid ambiguities and duplication. In a hierarchical namespace, each name is made up of the several parts. The first part can define the nature of the organization. The second part can define the name of the organization. The third part can define departments in the organization and so on. In this case, the authority to design and control the name spaces can be decentralized. We have to hierarchical namespace. A domain namespace was designed. The name are defined in a inverted tree structure with the root at the top. The tree can have only 1 to 8 levels. The level 0 roots to level 127. Each node in a tree has a label, which is a string with a maximum of 63 characters. The root enable is null string. Null string is also called as empty string. DNS requires the children of the nodes. The nodes that branch from the same node have different labs, which guarantees the uniqueness of the domain names. Each node in the tree has a domain name. A full domain name is the sequence of the labs separated by dots. The domain names are may always read from the node up to the root. A full domain name always ends in the null label, which means the last character is the dot. This figure shows some domain names. First label root edu dot domain name. Next fhda dot uni that also the domain name. These are the this which shows the example for above explanation. If a label is terminated by a null string, it called a fully qualified domain name (FQDN). For example, the domain name challenger.adc.fhda.edu. If a label is not terminated by a null string, it called a partially qualified domain name (PQDN). Yeah, PQDN starts from a node, but it does not reach the root. It is used when the name to be solved belong to the same byte as the silent. For example, if a user at the FHDAEDU the dot site want to get the IP address of the challenger computer, he or she can define the partial name challenger. In these two figures, it shows the qualified domain names FQDNS and the partially qualified names. A domain is a subtree of the domain namespace. The name of the domain is the domain name of the node at the top of the tree. The figure shows the some domains. A domain may itself divided into domain or subdomains. Thank you all.